Tonight on KPVI News at 5, Brian Koberger is asking more time to enter an alibi. Plus, ISU President Kevin Satterlee says he's retiring. KPVI News at 5 starts now.
You're watching KPVI News at 5. KPVI News at 5. News that works for you.
Good evening and thanks for watching tonight. I'm Matt Davenport. Our top story tonight, Brian Koberger says he wants more time to decide whether to provide an alibi for when the murders of 4 University of Idaho students took place. Under Idaho law, a defendant has 10 days to decide whether to provide information on an alibi, but Koberger's defense wants to extend that deadline. They say that they have not had enough time to fully review the evidence provided by the prosecution, which includes thousands of pages of discovery. The Twin Falls Police Department is searching for 2 people of interest. They're wanted for the theft of personal property while shopping at Winco. If you have any information, you can call 208-735-4357. Looks to be an active day out there. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Iverson. Doug.
Yes, a lot on the radar map this afternoon. If it's not raining yet or stormy at your house, oh, don't worry. The night or evening's still young. Take a look at Storm Track radar. We got a bunch of bullseyes, a bunch of reds out there. That indicates heavy rain, and we're getting reports of small hail. Every now and then you can see as the scans go by, those little red areas show a little speck of white or a little dot of white. That's the hail out there. Zoom in where we're seeing some of the strongest thunderstorms right in the middle of the Snake River Plain. Looks like a little something moving over Idaho Falls, but it gets worse towards the west along US 20. So if you're traveling that direction, heads up, and definitely a strong thunderstorm too over the Fort Hall area. So it's out there and it's getting you later if it hasn't already. We still have those river flood warnings out for the Big Lost River above Mackey Reservoir and below Mackey Reservoir. The Antelope Creek area, which is near near Darlington, and the Portneuf River from Pocatello to Chesterfield Reservoir is still under a flood warning. And last but not least, the Bear River just south of Montpelier. Matt.
All right, thank you very much, Doug. Summer travel is leading to higher and higher gas prices. According to AAA, the average price per gallon in Idaho is $3.97 a gallon, which is 8 cents more than a week ago and 22 cents more than a month ago. But AAA says it's not the $5 mark that we saw last year. Meanwhile, the national average sits at $3.59 per gallon, which is 4 cents more than last week. Idaho currently ranks 10th in the nation for the most expensive fuel. The Bureau of Land Management will conduct a prescribed burn in North Canyon near Malad. That's going to happen sometime between tomorrow and June 23rd, depending on fuel and weather conditions. 23 acres of Douglas fir and aspen trees will be burned. Smoke will be visible from Malad and the I-15 corridor. After the burning is finished, crews will mop up, patrol, and monitor the area. Bannock County Planning and Development is implementing a new software to make it easier to apply for building and zoning permits. The new software went live today. Contractors, developers, and surveyors will be able to apply for residential dwelling permits, accessory structures, commercial building variances, floodplain developments, subdivisions, conditional use permits, and more. All applications are online at bannockcounty.us/planning. Those with the current application can be able to continue working through the old portal for now. Well, in education news, the president of Idaho State University is retiring. President Kevin Satterlee made the announcement today. Satterlee says that he's been president since 2018 and has worked in higher education for about 25 years. During his time at ISU, Satterlee says they've survived a pandemic, grown their enrollment, made improvements to Davis Field and Holt Arena, built an alumni center, and most importantly for him, they've changed the culture and climate for the better. Satterlee recently welcomed his first grandchild and has decided he wants to spend more time with his family. He says he's grateful for his time at ISU and in the Pocatello community, and he will forever support the Bengals.
It has been a privilege and an honor to serve this state and to serve all of our students. I am beyond grateful to have been able to serve Idaho State University with our mission, a mission that resonates with me so deeply, and with a team that shows more dedication and grit than I could have ever imagined.
Satterlee will retire December 31st. The State Board of Education will launch a national search for his replacement. The Idaho State Board of Education will hold a board meeting at Idaho State University. That's coming up Wednesday at 8 a.m. in the Pond Student Union Building Ballroom. It'll also be live streamed on ISU's YouTube channel. Agenda items include the update on Empowering Parents program, hearing from students and staff at ISU, considering updates for Idaho's four-year colleges, recognition of the 2023 Milken Education Award winner, and more. Also happening at ISU this week, a workshop hosted by the Idaho STEM Action Center. The event offers educators high quality, relevant, and hands-on professional development opportunities. This year's theme is Step Up to STEM, Increasing Integration. Participants will leave with a kit of materials related to the session they attend to implement what they've learned into their classrooms. The College of Eastern Idaho now has an Associate of Arts transfer degree in business. Students were able to enroll for the 2023 semester. The program is designed for students who wish to transfer as a junior to a four-year institution to complete a bachelor's degree in business or business-related majors. It's the first non-general transfer degree at CEI. Fall River Electric is hosting its annual Energy Expo and business meeting for member owners. That's coming up Saturday in Ashton at North Fremont High School. The event is free for all customers that receive power from Fall River Electric. A free breakfast will be served from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. The first 350 members will also receive a free water bottle and energy conservation kit. There'll also be activities for kids, vendor booths, and prizes. The president of the Board of Temple Emmanuel in Pocatello spoke recently at a Rotary Club meeting. The Eastern Idaho now has an Associate of Arts. The Dale Spencer spoke about the Temple Emmanuel's 100th anniversary. He shared the history of the temple and the role that it plays in the community.
We try to be active in our community, both in as a temple. As a temple, one of the things we can do is provide a space. When the Reading Time with the Queens had their problems with the library space, we offered our space so they could come use our space because we had a space they could use. We provided the space to assemble food boxes for Thanksgivings. We have used our space for other community organizations to come and just have a get-together and a party when they don't have a space big enough to have 50 people in one room. We do. We can provide that. Use the resources we have to share with the community. We're honored to do that.
And still to come on KPVI News at 5, the Idaho Falls Zoo has a fun event planned for this month. Those details are coming up. But first, let's head back over to Doug Iverson. Doug.
And at Idaho Falls right now, it is getting pretty stormy. Look at that weather window. Dark clouds out there. Showers and thunderstorms. If you're planning an event this evening, you may want to bring it inside. Your forecast is next.
You're watching KPVI News at 5 with Matt Davenport, Misty England, and East Idaho's Chief Meteorologist Doug Iverson. KPVI News at 5, news that works for you. And now Storm Tracker weather with East Idaho's Chief Meteorologist Doug Iverson.
Most of the storminess right now, smack dab right over the heart of the Snake River Plain. Blackfoot all the way up to Idaho Falls, starting to push southward towards Pocatello. So if you haven't gotten anything yet and you're in the Gate City area, oh, it's coming. Don't worry. You won't be left out of this one. The showers and thunderstorms have kind of thinned out a bit for the Central Mountains. For the upper highlands, western Wyoming, definitely some storminess there, especially around Driggs, over the Tetons. If you're traveling through Swan Valley, that's US 26 between Idaho Falls and Wyoming. You'll be going right through the heart of it. What's next? More of this. In fact, really not going to see a break from this weather, courtesy of this low pressure system that will move through Utah tomorrow. So we'll be right in the bullseye again. So you can expect more showers, more thunderstorms. The only difference is tomorrow may not start off sunny. If we get any sunshine at all, it'll be in the form of liquid, and we could see those showers and thunderstorms pop up in the morning tomorrow. So yeah, it might be a different looking day by the time it is certainly all said and done. So for the Snake River Plain, evening showers and thunderstorms. Low temperatures will range from the upper 40s to the mid 50s. Now with these thunderstorms, these showers, they have potential of putting down a lot of rain in just a short period of time. So you know what that means. A few inches of rain in what? Less than an hour? That means potential some flash flooding. So although there are no official watches or advisories for flash flooding, with these storms, we could get the water, fill up the gutters real fast out there. Showers and thunderstorms hit and miss for the upper highlands. The low temperatures tonight will range from the upper 30s over in Yellowstone to the lower 50s up in Clark County. And for the southeast highlands, some areas won't get anything tonight. They'll be like, well, the weatherman said we're supposed to get a thunderstorm. Well, not necessarily for you. It's kind of hit and miss, scattered for you at least. Soda Springs 44, Preston 50, and then for the Tomorrow, well, that's why I think it's going to be a bit more widespread. Showers and thunderstorms likely for everyone. And as I mentioned just a moment ago, we could see those showers and thunderstorms in the morning, and high temperatures only in the 60s. In fact, a little bit on the cool side for this time of year. Showers, thunderstorms likely, widespread for the upper highlands, western Wyoming. High temperatures, speaking of cooler, only hitting 59 and after tomorrow, so I guess what are we complaining about, right? And then for the central mountains, widespread showers and thunderstorms. Again, with these showers, they could produce excessive rainfall, so something you should certainly think about. And then we'll see that potential too for the Snake River Plain, widespread showers and thunderstorms, perhaps in the morning, but definitely by the afternoon, evening, high temperatures upper 60s to the lower 70s. Your Southeast Idaho Chevy dealer 7-day forecast. Take a look. I know you were looking at the Thursday, Friday, Saturday weather, right? Well, we got a couple of rough days ahead, especially tomorrow, and we could see those showers and thunderstorms linger on Wednesday. But look at that. Sunshine galore. Actually, 3 days in a row of not having to worry about any showers or thunderstorms. I think that's a record, at least lately. And then by Sunday, right back at it with potential more stormy weather. For the Teton area, the next 2 days, but yes, you get a break as well. Thursday through Saturday, we'll call it mostly sunny. Starting Sunday, though, here comes the threat of more stormy weather. And for the central mountains, showers, thunderstorms likely for the next 2 days, but like the rest of us, 3 days where we'll be storm-free. 3 days in a row. How about that? But it doesn't last forever. By Sunday, we could see some showers and thunderstorms. A little cooler next Monday, a high of only 65. That is a little chilly. Brainstormers today. Now, often you'll see a severe thunderstorm warning crawl or a text come across your phone, or even here on KPVI. A severe thunderstorm warning will be issued whenever lightning is expected. True or false? Go to Twitter or Facebook. We'll have the answer later on.
Okay, thank you very much, Doug. The Idaho Falls Zoo has several events happening this month. On Friday, bat experts with Brigham Young University, Idaho and the Idaho National Lab will discuss the importance of bats and explain how the zoo is helping to protect their habitat. That starts at 8:30 p.m. in the William J. Meck Education Center. Then on Saturday and Sunday, in honor of Father's Day, men will get 50-cent admission with a paid child admission. On June 21st, artist Twyla Mahalan will host a watercolor class featuring the birds of the Idaho Falls Zoo. Penguin interactions and zookeeper presentations are also available. For more information, you can go to the zoo's website. The Pocatello Fire Department is bringing cool rain back to Caldwell Park. That'll be Wednesday from noon to 12:30. Firefighters will turn their hoses on and cool off everyone in the park. Firefighters will also be on hand to talk about smoke alarms, home escape and planning, and more. The Eastern Idaho Dog Show starts this week. The Eagle Rock Kennel Club and Pocatello Kennel Club are hosting the annual Eastern Idaho Spring Classic Show. It starts Thursday and runs through Sunday at the Eastern Idaho State Fairgrounds. The show starts at 7 a.m. each day. Hundreds of dogs and their owners will be participating. Admission is free, however, parking is $10 per day. For more information, visit blackfootdogshow.com. And still to come on KPVI News at 5, preparations are being made for former President Trump's arraignment. Details coming up next.
You're watching KPVI News at 5. KPVI News at 5. News that works for you.
Preparations are underway for former President Trump to make his first appearance in a federal courtroom tomorrow. He faces 37 counts for allegations he willfully retained classified documents after leaving the White House. Alice Barr has the latest now from Washington.
Former President Donald Trump arriving in Miami today ahead of his historic initial appearance in federal court tomorrow on charges he illegally took classified national security documents when he left the White House and conspired with an aide to hide them from investigators as the former president calls for protests.
They have to go out and they have to protest peacefully. Security
is ramping up at the courthouse.
Believe that people should have the right to express themselves. But we also believe in law and order.
On the campaign trail over the weekend, former President Trump calling himself the victim of a political prosecution.
This vicious persecution is a travesty of justice.
While slamming the special counsel in charge who insists
we have one set of laws in this country and they apply to everyone.
The 37-count indictment accuses the former president of storing highly sensitive materials, including on the nation's nuclear programs, in unsecured boxes in a bathroom and on a ballroom stage at Mar-a-Lago, showing them to people on 2 occasions and defying the government's efforts, including a subpoena to get them back. The former president's ex-attorney general weighing in.
If even half of it is true, then he's toast.
2024 Republican rivals and GOP lawmakers largely standing by Mr. Trump, pointing to President Biden's ongoing documents investigation.
The idea of equal justice is not playing out here.
While legal analysts stress there's a key difference in the Trump case.
It's the refusal to give them back. It's the obstruction.
As the unprecedented allegations roil the political landscape, security officials bracing for a first-of-its-kind courtroom appearance. Former President Trump will likely go through the normal steps of being fingerprinted, having his photo taken, and then be released with conditions. He's planning a speech and fundraiser back in New Jersey tomorrow night. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
The U.S. Senate has opened an investigation into the partnership between the PGA Tour and the Saudi-backed Live Golf Series. It comes nearly a week after the PGA Tour announced the proposed merger. Some Democrats have expressed concerns because of the foreign entities involved. Senator Richard Blumenthal issued both organizations letters detailing the causes for concern and requesting documentation relating to the new agreement. Both the PGA Tour and Live Golf have until June 26 to hand over the documents. UNESCO announced yesterday that the U.S. administration is applying to rejoin. It comes after a 5-year absence that began while former President Donald Trump was in office. The U.S. owes a significant amount of money to the organization for appears in dues payments. But earlier this year, the administration set aside $150 million in its budget to plan to pay for a return. Trump withdrew the U.S. from the agency in 2017, citing its supposed anti-Israel bias. The Biden administration said when it took office it intended to rejoin. Still to come on KPVI News at 5, Healthy City USA is here to talk about the Edible Garden Tour. That's coming up next. Every week we like to find new ways to get healthy. Joining us today is Michaela Prohaska from Portneuf Health Trust and Healthy City USA. And today we're talking about getting out in the garden, growing things out in your garden, and a special tour of gardens. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so one of the gals over at the Bannock Extension office for U of I, her name's Katie. She does all things garden and all things produce.
Okay.
So she is creating a edible garden tour is what she's calling it. So it's basically just like it says, calling all gardeners.
Okay.
To where if they have a nice garden, a big garden, a small garden, they're looking for any kinds of gardens that you can include in this edible garden tour, which is going to happen in August.
All right.
And so you need to contact her this week to put your garden on the
tour list?
the tour, yes.
Okay.
And then people can just come by, they can take a look at it, take notes for their garden, you name it.
So it's kind of like me, I am not a gardener. I'm not a green thumb person. And so I have a lot of questions to ask. Like, what can grow here in our climate? When should I start planting? When should I harvest things? What can and cannot grow? Is this going to be a place where people can get those kind of answers?
Absolutely, yeah. So the gardens that are probably going to sign up for this are experienced gardeners. They've been doing this for years. They have it down to a science. So it'll be really good opportunity for people to just get inspired, see what can grow in Pocatello, Idaho. So it'll be a really cool tour.
I know one thing that does grow very well. Zucchini. Yes. Lots and lots of zucchini.
We have a lot of squash all the time.
Yeah, and squash, they seem to go pretty well here.
Yes.
Now, there's also a special little program that you can call up the University of Idaho Ag Extension. Let's say you have, a backyard apple tree that overproduces every year, and there's only so much applesauce that you can eat.
Right.
And you have that excess, and you don't want it to fall into the ground and go to waste. What can you do for that?
So you can also call Katie, same gal from before, and she will come to your house, to your sidewalk, to your backyard, and she'll pick all the fruit for you and then give it to a donation area somewhere in Pocatello. So like you said, when you're walking along the sidewalk and you see all those apples that are just getting crushed on the ground, that can get picked and that can be put to use somewhere in the community. Like I know Valley Mission has a food bank there. The Senior Activity Center feeds 200 people a day. family.
Oh, fantastic.
So there's a lot of use.
Way to get fresh fruits and veggies in there, too.
Yeah.
And zucchini.
Yes.
All right. Michaela, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks, Matt.
And still to come on KPVI News at 5, a kitten saved in Las Vegas. We'll show you that story next. A kitten in Las Vegas hit the jackpot last week. The cat was trapped on the side of a busy highway. Nevada State troopers responded to calls from concerned drivers. Now, initially, the kitten ran away from a trooper who was able to chase it and eventually catch it. Police named the kitten Trooper Kitty and helped him find a forever home. Here, kitty, kitty. No, no, don't run over there. No, no, no.
Boy.
Oh, be careful, kitty. Be careful. Stay. Like any cat has ever followed a command of stay. Oh, I got you.
Oh, yeah.
I got you, buddy.
That trooper definitely risking his life.
Oh,
It seems
yeah.
like every trooper these days gets hit by a passing car. So,
wow. All right, let's take a look at our brainstormers question, Doug.
Okay, true or false? We're talking about severe thunderstorm warnings, and they're issued whenever lightning is expected. Is that true? Or is that false?
I'm going to say it's false. I think it needs to be a little bit more than just lightning.
A little bit more. So does Kiana and Facebook. Looks like Facebook's leaning towards that. False. Correct answer, yeah. Damaging winds and or destructive hail.
All right, we'll see you back here at 10.